Ethan was an ordinary young man living in New York City. He worked long night shifts at a small coffee shop on the corner of a busy street. Every night he watched people in expensive suits walk by, driving fancy cars, laughing, and living the life he always dreamed of. But for Ethan, life was different. He lived alone in a tiny apartment, barely managing to pay rent. He had dreams, big dreams, but reality was heavy. Every time he tried to move forward, something pulled him back. Bills, work, exhaustion. It felt endless. One night, after another exhausting shift, Ethan sat outside the shop. It was cold, the streets were empty, and his hands were shaking from tiredness. He looked at the city skyline glowing in the distance and whispered to himself, "When will it be my turn?" He thought about quitting everything: the job, the struggle, the dream. But deep inside, a quiet voice said, "Don't stop now. You've already come this far." That night, he made a choice. He went home, opened his old, slow laptop, and started learning about business, marketing, anything he could find. Every single night after work, while the city slept, Ethan studied. He failed again and again, but he kept going. He didn't have money, but he had hunger. Months passed. Then one morning, Ethan looked in the mirror and realized he was no longer the same person. He had grown, not in wealth, but in mindset. He had learned that success doesn't start with money. It starts with a decision, the decision not to give up. Years later, Ethan walked past that same coffee shop, but this time, he wasn't wearing an apron. He was wearing a suit. He now owned a small company that served hundreds of clients. Someone once asked him, "What was the turning point of your life?" Ethan smiled and said, "The night I decided to stop complaining and start doing." That was the night everything changed. So if you ever feel tired, lost, or hopeless, remember this: the moment you choose not to quit is the moment your story truly begins.